Hey guys, Michael Valentino from Crusader Caravans in Campbellford, Victoria. Today I have the absolute pleasure of demonstrating and showing you the 2024 Victron battery management system that's just landed in our cross-country Trailbreaker stock van. The Victron system is unlike anything we've played with before. It has a heap of functionality, a 3000 watt auto switching inverter, a 120 amp AC charger, 50 amp solar controller, 30 amp DC to DC, and a heap of functionality. And get this, it has wireless ability to be able to be tapped in from the likes of myself, as well as the team at Horizon, who are partnered with Crusader Caravans as a supplier in this awesome technology, which means, Michael, how do I use this? What's happening here? I'm not sure the system's working properly. The sun, the this, the that. It's easy. You log us in, we jump in, and remotely, in the middle of nowhere, we jump in that system and have a bit of a play with it. I'm going to introduce you to the Victron BMS underneath the bed. Get excited, I'll meet you underneath there. It's really important to note before I show you this system underneath the bed, Crusader Caravans as of 2024 in their manufacturing process align with all of the compliance measures reintroduced to the industry and refined for the industry, now have a completely external battery mounted system for all of our systems. Doesn't matter what we're mucking around with, whether it be a Victron, whether it be an N-Drive, a Red Arc, a standard battery management system from the team. So if you don't see the batteries underneath here, they're outside. This guy comes with two 200 amp Victron supplied batteries. It is a awesome system. Take a look. Welcome to the Victron system. This is now a standard application within the 2024 ordered cross-country models and available to anyone with an upcoming order, of course, with any of our other models for a little upgrade fee, of course. This gentleman right here, starting to the left, with our batteries mounted external, is our 3000 watt inverter charger. These guys here are actually used in domestic and commercial applications. So Victron and the team at Horizon, who we buy these from and provide the customer service through, of course. This here is an auto switching inverter that will automatically switch between 240 volt grid power and 240 volt inverter power. It also is a 120 amp AC charger. So this guy with these big 00 cables all the way across, they are pumping in 120 amps of positive charge when you're at a caravan park to charge up those 400 amps worth of lithium. Or it will invert up to 3000 watt, such as those high power kettles, your aircon, your bits and bobs in the van. These are absolutely awesome. So people use these on farms and all types of solar setups in a commercial or domestic platform, but you are so lucky because you've got him sitting underneath your bed. Really cool system. It has a built-in MEN link. This guy runs outside to your RCDs for all of your mains and 240 volt protection. A few inbuilt fuses and whatnot on this, but this guy here just sits there peacefully, quietly, and there's a main display up the top that allows for a little bit of configuration, but ideally we don't need to touch. We have our DC to DC charger over here. So our DC to DC charger is a 30 amp DC to DC charger. It comes with the ability to be able to trigger this via a vehicle incoming charge. So it will sense your vehicle's output. If the vehicle doesn't output the correct voltage to symbolize that it is running via not via auxiliary and that it's actually running, it will fire up and then begin inputting 30 amps into the system that will obviously recharge your caravan batteries as you're driving. As it is a separate system, you have an MPPT, of course, 50 amp solar controller, so they're running straight off the roof. Currently this van's fitted with three 220 watt monocrystalline panels from the team at Horizon, so all in one system with all of the same branded items such as batteries and solar and DC and inverters, so everything's all in one. We have again, this is just going to fire. It allows for Bluetooth connectivity, so you actually can see each of these incoming and outgoing power supply, but that really is monitored by our main display up the top, as well as a smart shunt that's located on the right-hand side of the board. We have non-essential fuses. So what are these? Great question. Non-essential is when you walk into the caravan, there is a main isolator switch, which is controlled by this little gentleman right here. The main isolator switch is going to turn off the non-essential. So when you're leaving the caravan, so you don't have to walk around and turn off each individual light, one switch to shut the system down into sleep mode. These are the fuses that are going to be controlling that. We've got this beautiful little black bar here to be able to protect everything and make it look all pretty. Underneath, we have some MIDI fuses for our essential, non-essential, our DC to DC charger, our solar controller, and as well as a reserve fuse as well. Essential fuses, these are things that are not going to turn off during your sleep mode activation by the switch at the entry, so such as your trail safe on the front of the van. So you want that obviously working whilst you're driving, so when that main switch is off, it's still going to fire. We want to have, of course, the gas heater still working. We want to be able to have our radio memory still working. So there's half a dozen fuses there, of course, which we guide you through at handover. This little gentleman here that's blinking is the Serbo GX. I keep calling it Cerebro like for the X-Men, but this is the Serbo GX. This allows for independent software updates through a micro SD card insert. It also allows for Wi-Fi access point tap-in. So a lot of our customers now are using the Starlink or RV Wi-Fi. So with that connected through a personal hotspot, that's going to fire up. You then can make a phone call to myself if you're a Melbourne customer, of course. Otherwise, ring your dealer. We would then contact Horizon, or we would lodge your particular access code and your login details when you purchase the caravan. So with a quick phone call, yes, Michael, I'm connected to internet, we can actually jump into this whole system and diagnose what happened and what's going on with the system and figure out what is going on, and then we can get you back on the road, or at least report the issue. There's not a system available currently in the market within this sort of hardware that I think truly allows you to do that. We've had a few experiences with some other brands of vans with these systems, and the backup service and ability to be able to log in has just been exponential. It just gives customers that reassurance that, oh no, I'm a bit worried, I'm in the middle of nowhere, but I've got Starlink internet, bang, I'm now in their system. So it is just awesome to think that you're not in the dark, you're not going to some independent repairer who has absolutely no idea, who has to start from scratch learning the whole system. You're going to be able to have that assurance that, you know, Crusader has and can hold your hand through that step and through that sales process, as well as after sales process, with ensuring you get the right system. The best thing about this system is there's not a whole heap of communication shunts, there's not a whole heap of monitors, there's not a heap, everything's relatively, you know, quite reserved. So, you know, DC to DC charger plays up, bang, 4 screws, new DC to DC. Solar plays up, it's 4 wires, bang, got a brand new one. Inverter charge, everything's separated. So this is one of my sort of favorite systems where it's not all in one. Look, there's a premium price to it, but I tell you what, looking at these, it is a premium product. So it is just fantastic to be able to see that next transitional system into the Crusader Caravan range. This down here on camera is our Bluetooth shunt. So typically we fit these in an aftermarket install, but this is coming with the system. It's a BMV 712 shunt, 500 amp load rated. It allows for you to be able to tap in via your mobile phone, which I will pop up on screen here just to be able to show you guys what it looks like. So we've got this awesome little app. We jump onto the BMV 712 shunt. Get this. So we've got state of charge, 99%. We've got 13.2 amps. We've got a current discharge, not now, Mr. Pin code, current discharge of 5.5 amps. If I was to turn off the independent lights and remove some amperage draw, that would actually allow me to be able to itemize individual current draw. If the inverter turns on and we're off grid, this will actually show me how much time I have remaining at the current discharge rate. You can see history, you can see trends, all the nerdy stuff that I just love, you can see here. It's also, you know, you've got tap into the servo, you've got tap into the solar controller, and parameters around that as well. So you're completely backed up with technology, but not overwhelming technology. It gives you the capacity to be able to have such an awesome system without having such a, you know, boring setup. It's just fantastic. So what makes this system fantastic is this little HDMI cable here in communication shunt that communicates to the top panel display that allows us to say ins and outs and inverters and everything. So I'm going to give you a quick demo of that. Meet me over at the door and we're going to have a great old time. So guys, before I can demonstrate what power draw looks like on the inverted system and how you're going to calculate time remaining and all that sort of stuff, I'm going to run our microwave here. So we've unplugged the van from 240 in, and we're now going to use our microwave. I've got 76 worth of seconds on this, so I'm going to run him, and then I'm going to quickly jump over to the display board to show you how the power tracks. Let's cook. So guys, welcome to the Serbo display. This is awesome. Bit hard to film, but it's awesome. So, what does it make sense? Currently, that microwave is pulling 1035 watts worth of power, and it is running through our inverter up the top here, so it's inverting. You'll notice this little line, dot, 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 dot. So it's going, where is the power going? So you can track it. There's our batteries over here. Our batteries are supplying 99% of power, or it's got 98% worth of power, and it's supplying negative 1176 watts out, so 90.6 amps. And where's it going? Well, if you track this, it's running to our inverter, which is running to the AC loads. How bloody cool is that? I'm going to turn this microwave off and I'm going to give you a little bit more of a walkthrough. So the Serbo display presents in this fashion. You have 98% of power, so we've got 13.2 volts, and currently we're losing 5.9 amps worth of power. If we go and we turn off these, oh, that was already off. Well, let's do the reverse. Let's turn it on, and we'll turn one of our brushless fans on. So we've got some serious power coming out. And then we go over to our Serbo. You'll notice this has increased. So not a great deal, but a little bit. So what that means is you're losing your power, and it's showing you where it's going. Check this out. You're losing 56 watts to DC power. So that's where it's going. Nothing's coming out from inverter. The solar panels were undercover. So your solar panels over here will display wattage, and it's going to be showing you how much power is going out. So you actually see this little line come across, and it will give you a quick diagram as to where it's going. So how cool is that? AC loads up here is currently what's consuming out of the inverter through the inverter side, and then AC in, so when we plug the van into power, this will actually come up and it will show that, you know, your house is supplying 1,000 or 1,100 watts to the inverter, and then the inverter's bypassing that to the AC loads up here. You're going to have full understanding of what's going on, but check this. Swipe menu, heck yeah. So we've got, again, itemized display, like a little work hub. It gives you clear boxes as to what's going on. You can go through all of this system here. We haven't worked out how to change the logo over the Victron yet, but I can't wait to do that. It'll be Crusader branded. AC mode, so you've actually got inverter switching. So you're just gonna leave it on or charger only. So that will only then operate as a charger, because keeping in mind it's an inverter charger. You've got inverter only, right? And then you've got AC off. So we're just going to leave that on, and then you'll see the AC loads now is 0 watts. And then if we start running our air conditioner and stuff, you'll start seeing that change. So again, now that it's plugged in, we've got 19 watts. The panel voltage is up there as well. Again, undercover, not doing a great deal. DC system, so you're going to see 56 watts. If we start turning things on, like, you know, our fan over here, which pulls a little bit of power, and our touch light and all of that fun stuff, everything's going to start to increase. So you're going to have a full understanding of what's going on. We have water tanks. So we use an ohms sensing water tank. So it's a resistor sender, and that gives you full, like, to the liter, ideally. A little bit off, but they're a lot better than the sort of the 12 watt ones you'd expect. And it tells you 58%, 29%. This has got a wastewater tank, so that's 0%. Now, there's so many cool features of this, and there's so much that you can do on it. But again, one of the biggest things is the capacity to be able to actually have us, the technicians, tap into that system and show you how that system works. So it's on your phone, it's via Wi-Fi as well, so you can connect this up at handover, show you how all of that works as well. But as you're leaving here, I just feel, as far as presentation, this would have to be the cleanest, most simplest system with an actual user screen that has full operation ability. You can go through and turn everything on in the van, and you can actually have a really great understanding of how much those appliances are using wattage-wise. You wouldn't believe how many calls we get. Michael, my kettle's tripping it. 2,000 watt inverter. Well, what's the kettle? I don't know. I said, well, if you run it, you can calculate. A lot of work. But if you just run it on this, it's a 2,000 watt kettle off. Not going to happen, you know. So these are the things that really give you another level of understanding with your caravan and your free camping experience. Crusader have joined forces with Horizon. We're loving and really so keen to put these into our 2024 constructed caravans, ordered as of today. So please get in touch with your dealer. You're going to love this system. We are so excited about showing everyone at handover how this system operates, and it'll be on display at the latest Flemington Caravan Show. Guys, we'll catch you there. If you have any questions or queries, give us a call on 9359 2938 to speak with the friendliest and best looking people in the caravan industry. Email us at michael@crusadermelbourne.com. Alternatively, jump onto the website www.crusadercaravansmelbourne.com.au. We're so excited. We hope you are too. Horizon, welcome to the Crusader family.